All right. Questions? Give me a second. Just want to I want to see the quality we getting on the screen. All right. All right. That's decent enough. We'll make do with it for the day. It's looking a little grainy. It'll be back in '07. Good.
Did you happen to see, sir? There's this I don't want to say camaraderie, but they're trying to make it so that because of the football that's going on, soccer, Iran and Mexico are like united.
I didn't.
That's got a lot of people online. They're proud of being half Iranian and half Mexican. Usually, they're siding more like with the Iranian. But I haven't been really following like that. But I just noticed.
Which means their fathers are Iranian, more than likely.
More than likely, yeah. The way they behave, like you can see by the spirit that that they're not us. It's not Issachar. And but I haven't been following the games per se to see why they're what it's all about.
The actual soccer games.
Yeah.
Well,
let's see if we
can pull that up real quick.
Sometimes YouTube will replay an entire game, like it did when the Knicks were playing, and everybody was gathered in New York for it. But I haven't seen it.
It says
small.
Says during the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Mexico hosted the Iranian national football team's training camp in Tijuana after U.S. and FIFA logistical and political complications. So I guess Tijuana wasn't their first choice, but they had to make do with Tijuana. It's lucky.
I guess they probably wanted Mexico City or something.
I don't let me drink too much of this wine. I eat nothing today. Should go straight to my head. So, don't let me drink too much of this. Should go straight to my head.
Short sips.
God. The Mexican public warmly embraced the team, which later exited the tournament in the group stage following Austria's equalizer against Algeria. So it seems like they came together. Oh, it says the nations of Iran and Mexico established diplomatic relations in 1964. Oh, so they're getting along. Okay, let me see. In May 1903, a treaty of friendship was signed between Mexico and Iran. In 1937, they had a new treaty. And then 1964, they had diplomatic relations established. Let me see. They got a long history, actually. Yeah, 1975, Mohammed Pahlavi, which was the Shah of Iran, which I believe is akin to an ambassador or a president. 75, he met with the president of Mexico, Luis Echeverria. Yeah, they got a long history.
Yeah, the Shah would be like you said, the equivalent of like a president or the political. The religious leader is called an Ayatollah. So I remember that when I was a kid. Everybody in my school was always hating during the Reagan years. They were hating who was the leader of Iran at the time.
Who was an Ayatollah?
Ayatollah Khomeini. It was in all the news and all the papers. Saying,
and of course, the United States unalived him, right?
I don't remember if that was the case with that particular.
There
was one that was recent. I think he had a similar name. But I just remember there was a lot of stuff of course, was the guy that put all the world leaders in his.
Said Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. He had a TV show. He played a cop, and so they did these movies where they spoof. It's the one where he's with O.J. Simpson. I can't remember the name of it. And they have to stop Reggie Jackson, the baseball player, from assassinating Queen Elizabeth. He was playing baseball.
Gosh, lock you up.
The Naked Gun, that's the name of the series.
Okay. Let's get into these scriptures real quick, because no questions. Give me Ezekiel 3:1. So
I got a quick breakdown on Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8, sir.
yeah, sure.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8.
A second.
Well, I don't want to got it.
Good.
A time to love, a time to hate,
Mm-hmm.
a time of war, and a time of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get the just a breakdown on that? When is there a time to love? When is it a time to hate? And a time of war? Can you like break down like each one?
Yeah, kind of. So I'm gonna ask you actually, when is the time to love? Just think one West, think our God is a man of war. So think when it comes to the Lord, what is an acceptable time to love? Just think of all the work we do and what we stand for.
You love your brother as thyself.
I mean, it's a time to love when you coming across as the blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
You understand? Now, even within that, is there also not a time where, let's see, love is action. So let me say this. You should always love your people, because I was going to describe something else. So let's focus on love. Love being action. What is the world's perception of love? What does the world think love is? If you was to ask somebody, what does it mean to you to love? A woman or a man in the world?
There's butterflies or something.
It's a feeling, it's just butterflies, it's I love you so much, I want to be with you the rest of my life, or you birthed me, or my mother, my father, my brother, my sister. Love is just a feeling to them. But in reality, love is an action that you would take, which is in the best interest of the person that you're talking about. So sometimes love is, I'm going to disassociate myself with you because I'm in the truth. You're not, you're trying to weigh me down. Sometimes that's me loving you. You understand? A lot of us come into the truth, and sometimes we telling people, yeah, man, I'm going to these classes. Woo, 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 you should come with me. Some people come in here with brothers. Some sisters come with sisters. Some husbands and wives come together, right? And then they separate, meaning one man stays out of the two or the three, right? A husband stays or a wife stays, right? Love is an action. I will do what I need to do to show you that I care about you in truth. You understand? I want to take these actions to show you I care, right? There was a sister who took the actions of calling the school to get her husband off of alcohol. And that brother wind up eventually coming into the school from her love. And was her love just a feeling? Oh, I love you. I love you so much. The school, let me tell you something about this sister too. She passed away now. Karataza. I really gotta pull that sister's name. Oh man, brother, the sister was so beautiful. I remember I had just came into school when she passed away, right? And the sister, for years on Facebook, other sisters would go to her page and be like, "I miss you so much." Now, people in the world do that, right? People in the world do that too. But that's how beloved she was in here. People will go. She died in 2015. People will go 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. I miss you so much. That's something that's usually reserved for a best friend, a mother, an auntie, right? Somebody who's closer in your family, but she made such an impact on this school. And General Hyman spoke highly of her for years. I'm sure he still thinks highly of her, but he spoke highly of her publicly for years after her death because she was that instrumental. And other sisters would go to her page and be like, oh, I miss you so much because the love she showed them, the actions she took towards those sisters. What's some actions you could take to show love? A time to love. You know what a time to love is? When my phone ring at 3 in the morning. That's a time to love. You understand? Because to you, you're saying, I remember I said this to Akim. It used to hurt me. I had a slave, right? I got the same slave, honestly. But I would be like, I just switched hours. And I'll be like, Akim, after this time, if it's not an emergency, don't call because remember that? Because like I look, is my slave is very like psychologically sensitive, right? You need sleep, you gotta be dialed in. It's like that. Uh, and I felt so bad putting that in the chat. If I'm being honest with you, I felt so bad. It's like, how dare you say, don't call me. Now, if it's not an emergency at 3 in the morning and I got slave, that's reasonable. But just because I was raised that you never, now I said unless it's an emergency, but it just nagged at me because I know that in here, 3 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 9 at night, midnight, 2 p.m., you pick that phone up. You understand? And brother, I put that in the chat. And do y'all think anybody stopped calling me? Nobody stopped calling me. I was so sick. You was one of them. He was one of them. I remember one time Goyala called me, and I was in here like I could have swore I put in the chat. Don't nobody call me. I can remember this like yesterday. It was like one going. It was like going into 2 o'clock, and I was so sick. I'm like, yo, this nigga called me in the morning when I said don't call me. You know what I'm saying? But it was important to you. You understand? So then I just stopped putting in the chat because it's like you never know what's important to them. You understand? Like when my other one, when I was calling Captain Contest, I first came into school. He never knew what was important to me. You see what I'm saying? So it's like yeah, anything at any time, like, give me a call. Because to me, it's the end of the world. To him, it's Tuesday. You understand? That's the time to love, right? A time to love is you go to the ghetto. I was trying to schedule this cleanup of the ghetto for so long. We go and pick the trash up outside of Bradley Court. I had bought the little the grabbers and the vests and everything like that. Uh, that's a time to love, right? A lot of people, you'll go there, you'll see somebody mean mugging you, and now you want to fight. You're ready to. It's a time for you to extend what you learned, extend the love that you learned from Commander Juliana. You understand that action of, hey, what's going on? That action of you opening your mouth and saying something, the action of a black man doing this or a black man doing this, that's an action. That's an action that can bring peace into where otherwise two men might stare each other down until somebody feels offended. Right? There's always a time for you to love. The time for you to love is your people, in our situation. That's the time to love. Good.
If you teach this to like a random brother on the street, how do you like explain to him what should he love? Like,
You should love when somebody step on your shoe and you offended. Now that's such a cliche one, but it's so true. Go get your shoe. Let me tell you something. Go put some $200 to $300 shoes on and go get your shoes stepped on. You understand? Like you gotta understand. In the ghetto, um, black people have in America we have the most buying power in entertainment. Meaning you might have like white billionaires and stuff like that. But when it comes to actually spending money on concerts, spending money on things that entertain us, buying a television, subscription services, I think black people we lead. We lead in that category. So when it comes to entertainment, it's like when it comes to entertainment, we lead. Brother, we spend that on shoes and entertainment, and we don't spend it on buying buildings and trying to become moguls and Elon Musks and stuff like that. We spending it on those Jordans. You understand? So the wealth that we're acquiring from our jobs and our slaveries, we're spending it on them Jordans. Brother, go burn down Tesla headquarters and see what happens. See if Elon Musk isn't on a press conference calling for your head. You understand? It's his baby. He put money into it. Now, could he get another headquarters? Does he have insurance? He ain't got to come fully out of pocket. Sure, he's $1 trillion man at this point. Literally, he's $1 trillion man. So it's like, okay, you burn my headquarters down. I have insurance. They'll rebuild it. Maybe I come out of pocket a little bit. It's not the end of the world to him. But the principle that you did that to something he cares so much about, he's going to call for your head. You understand? That brother put that $300. He had a $679 check. He took $300. He took half his check and bought Jordans, and then you stepped on him. You understand? Like you step, like brother. If you look, I was so disillusioned going out because I don't buy sneakers like that. So like I don't get into that world. I never did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really care about that type of thing, brother. They got like specialty cleaning foams and all types of for your shoes to make your shoes shine, make it look brand new. It's 2 years old. Get the crease out. It's specialty products for sneakers, brother. He got that in his house. He got the specialty foam, the specialty brush. He got the little spring thing from you go into Foot Locker, or you go into Jimmy Jazz, not even in rotation no more. You go to Jimmy Jazz, Foot Locker, Snipes. You go there, they got the little spring that goes from the heel into the toe that keeps the shoe rounded and firm and looking perfect, right? They have that there. And brother, he has that in his house. I've seen people buy those and they have it. Something I only thought Foot Locker could get, Jimmy Jazz could get. People have that. You stepped on that man's shoe. Brother, he want smoke. He want all warfare. You understand? To him, that's his headquarters. That's his building. You burned it down. You understand? I need that. You understand? I need it back. And beating you is the best thing I can get. Because 9 times out of 10, I say, give me $300. You're not going to do that. So now I'm going to beat you. A time to love is when you get those shoes you love so goddamn much stepped on. Brother, you should probably forgive him. You understand? Show him some love and an action and say, damn, why you stepped on my shoe, man? Oh, shit, my fault. I'm trying to say it how it's really said. I'm doing it on purpose. This is how it's said in the ghetto. Oh, my fault. Your response should be, man, ain't no sweat. How you doing, bro? You good? That should be your response. That's showing love in a time where you could choose hatred. You understand? You could choose to harm that brother over something as simple as that. You could choose to harm him over anything with something else in the ghetto. I ain't want to run the drugs or like drug wars or anything. Something else. Um, over a woman. Over a woman. He says, I give you a story, and then we're gonna move to the next part. I ain't gonna stay here too long. We're gonna go from love to hate. Or they kind of intertwined, right? Man, brother, there was a woman. I worked at Amazon back in 2018, 19. I worked at Amazon. And brother, there's a woman, short, from Brooklyn, chocolate. I liked it. I say, yo, man, I'm talking to this man Ace from Irvington. I say, yo, man, she nice. Like we working together. We all work at Amazon. Yeah, Amazon like a big high school if you don't know. It's like a big high school. It's disgusting. It's like a big high school. And he go, word. I'm like, word. He like, yo, you like you rap. I'm like, damn, I do rap. He like, yo, man, I got a session with Sue Surf. Come through. We be in Edison. I'm gonna send you to Addy. So now we linking up. I'm sending him class videos. I'm sending him camp speakings. We splitting the Uber on the way home. Like, that's my man's. I'm chopping it with her, and I'm like, supposed to kick it with her. She's like, oh, I'm busy. I'm like, all right, cool, no sweat, whatever. Come to find out, I'm telling, because I told him that I had interest in her, he went and pursued her. So the whole time I'm sitting here like he acting like weird when I'm talking about it, but I'm not thinking about it because I'm in the truth. So I think everybody act weird. So I'm in the truth and I'm talking. I'm like, yo, I ain't know. He like, yo, what's up with Shorty? I'm like, he asking me like he not talking to her, and I'm like, yo, but I don't know, she on some like she don't want to. He like, that's crazy. I'm like, word, that shit in my number. Salakia. I'm trying to give y'all the real conversation of how this go. It's like, da da da. Like, all right, cool. Fast forward, I'm talking to like a couple other sisters in there, right? There's very beautiful sisters at Amazon. It's like Walmart. You understand? It's very beautiful sisters. So I'm talking to a couple of them. And then what happens is I find out he took her like on a date or whatever like that. And I was like, damn. I'm like, that's why you acting weird. You don't want to split the Ubers no more. You don't want to, yeah, it's like things got weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm laughing about it. I'm like, man, this thought I would mess the brotherhood up over a woman. You could have just told me you had interest in her. I would have backed off. You see what I'm saying? Like in the school, if you see some sister in the club, if you would have, let's say you would have 5,000, you 1,000, and you see a sister in the club, and you be like, man, I'm digging her. Yo, sir, she fire. What you think the brother that's a 5,000 gonna do? Oh, she fire to you? Yeah, she fire. Yeah, fall back, young, and watch me work. Like, he not gonna do that to you. You understand? 9 times out of 10, the brother ain't thirsty. The brother gonna be like, "Oh, word, go ahead, that's you. Go ahead, go do that." Boom. That's love. You think that's not love? Love is an action. A brother will hate you in his heart for talking to the woman he wanted to talk to. You understand? He will hate you. And the brother Ace did that, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, he probably think I have a problem with him too. In my head, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, he don't know brotherhood. I'm sending him these videos, but of course he's not in the truth. So he knows nothing about what I know. So I'm like, it's whatever. I keep working, right? I missed 3 days from work. I come back. Apparently, he went around gossiping like I was in my feelings behind her, and I quit because of it. I took 3 days off because I felt like taking 3 days off. I had time. So I came back acting regular. And everybody like, oh, it's like high school, like I said. So everybody's like, and I'm like, what is she acting weird? He acting weird. And then somebody else tell me this is what's going on, right? Fast forward, she's a whore, right? Whored on him. He comes running back to me saying, yo, man, because I came in there with food. He said, where you get this from? I said, yo, some Jamaican shorty made this for me. I like, this is fire. He like, yo, man, I really wish I had a woman so I could woo, woo, woo. Now he breaking down and explaining himself to me about basically how women in the world ain't nothing, right? And I'm thinking in my head, like, well, brother, you kind of pulled the BS move as well, because you could have just you could have just told me you had interest in such and such, and this would have been all good. But in my head, I'm like, man, all right, man, get another one to this, nothing, she ain't, you just met her, really, like it ain't even that serious. He going through it, and I'm looking at him like, look at you going through it. You could have lost a brother. You think you lost a brother because he thought I had a problem with him. You think you lost a brother. So in your head, you lost a brother behind a woman who didn't stay with you for 2 weeks. I could have been like, yo, man, I don't feel that, man. I was feeling her. I took that chance and said, you know what, brother, this is how you do this. This is how you behave. This is how you do that. That's how they act. He went off and did his own thing still. He was like, I guess he was guilty or conflicted in his heart. He ain't want to split the Ubers no more. He eventually, quit and all that stuff like that. He went through it behind her. He went through it. He went through it behind her. And he thought that I had this deep-seated issue. But in reality, that's the time for me to show love. That's the time for me to show the action of, this is how they act. That's how they do, man. It ain't about nothing. And the brother, he understood it, but he wasn't in the ear. But that's a perfect time. I could have chose hatred. I could have said, yo, man, I'm not feeling that, bro. Why you do that, bro? Nah, you got to run me my fade. I don't like that. You think I'm blunt? Y'all know this happens in the world. Over a woman, you will lose your life. You understand? A man could have not had sex with her yet, and you will lose your life behind his interest in a woman. Do you understand? Because you're having sex with her and he's not, he'll unalive you. Because you're taking her from him in his head. You understand? That's the time I could have chose hate. I just chose love. Let me show you what real love is. What real love is, she means nothing. She's a whore, which is why you should not have done what you did. You understand? You could have just said, I'm interested. I'd have said, go ahead, go after her. Then she would have failed you, and you'd have came back and we'd have been brothers. You understand? But instead, you was guilty and conflicted in your heart, and you felt like you had to not talk to me no more. You understand? Brother, there's a time for you to show some love. And the time for you to show love is at the same time where you could show hate. The same time, the same opportunity that presents itself for you to show hatred towards your brother is the time for you to show love. You understand? And both things are in action. All right? Both things are in action. All right? You could hold the grudge or you can address it and choose to show love in an action. All right? So a time to hate, a real good time to hate is when you look at your people and see the condition they're in, and you look at the oppressor. And when you do that, you say, I hate you because of what you've done to my people. I look at the condition we're in and I hate the condition we're in. You understand? I'm going to take action against this. Everything that puts us in the ghetto, that makes us have crack babies, that makes us not love one another. so that we have brotherhood and sisterhood issues, I'm going to actively fight against that, because a time to hate is that. You understand? It's that. When Carmelo Anthony got unalived, when he defended himself, the other brother got unalived. Nolan Wells. When Carmelo Anthony had to defend himself, and the world is persecuting him, our oppressor is persecuting him, that's the time to hate. You understand? You know why? I hate the fact that you think you can teach your children to defend themselves, but if I do that, I go to jail. You understand? Or my child goes to jail. I hate that. And I'm going to fight against that. You understand? I hate the fact that you can be a good Christian. You fight for your white Jesus in the church. If somebody comes in the church of white Jesus with white people in there, brother, the Glocks come out. If y'all don't know, rifles come out, revolvers come out, Glocks come out. If I stand on a corner and say my oppressor is the devil, it's a problem. Not pulling guns, not harming, not taking nobody's life. It's a problem. I hate that. You understand? And I hate you for that. That's a perfect time to hate. Good.
Okay, sir. Is it is hating if showing hate to the Asians like for what they did to the brother, was it Cyrus?
Mhm.
Is it's like it's like not eating Chinese food anymore and like trying to crumble their economy. Is that a form of hatred?
I'm sorry, say that again. Trying to crumble that. Say it again. I heard what
Like
you said, but say it again.
support Asians anymore. Is that a good form of hatred?
That's exactly what I was about to pull.
Would that be boycott?
You said, wouldn't that be boycotting?
Yeah, like,
Boycotting is the perfect form of love. You understand? It's the perfect form of love. The scripture says, abhor not an Edomite. And when you read abhor, what does abhor say?
treating
It says hate. Abhor says hate. What is it saying? What is it describing?
Violence.
To treat abominably. Violence. You understand? Do not harm them. Don't walk. We're not the Black Panthers. We don't believe that guns are going to solve the issues that we're having. You understand? You should have a gun because Christ said, sell your garment and get a sword. So you should have a gun, but it's not going to solve the problem for the nation of Israel. You understand? Give me Psalms 139 and 21.
songs with the S at the answer.
Psalms, yeah, it's only book of Psalms in there. Psalms, it is. It's Psalms.
Songs.
Yeah.
Psalm. PSALMS. Psalms. Yeah. Okay.
Has a PS. That's the yesterday.
I got mine says that. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's plural. Psalms.
Yeah.
Either way, though. Either way, that's what I'm asking for, though. It is because Psalms means. I think it means song.
Yeah. What's the
139 and 21. Psalms chapter 139, verse 21.
See that in the Bible because we have the S. Just
Psalm 89.
yeah, print text.
God.
Psalms 139. And what's yours? Like
In 21.
Book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 21. Oh, I don't want to got it.
God.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee,
Mhm.
and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee. Verse 22.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. If you want to look for a perfect time to hate, it's to hate those that hate the Lord. You understand? This is a perfect scripture to back a Christian in the corner. Do you understand? It is a perfect scripture. You say, do not I hate those that hate thee? All right. And then you run to 1 John and you say, you know you love him by keeping his commandments. You understand?
Oh, God.
So if you are not keeping the commandments of the Lord hates you. You understand? Good. Young man, you got to.
No, I just wanted to ask. This is David speaking, right? King David.
Yes.
Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Read on, sir.
Yeah, come on.
Verse 22. I hate them with perfect hatred.
Mm-hmm.
I count them my enemies.
I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Right? My hatred, if I have hatred for you according to the Bible, it is perfect. If I hate you the way David hates the Lord's enemies, it is perfect. And to hate the Lord's enemies is perfect. So if you are against the God of the Bible, then it is perfect for me to hate you. That is a perfect time for me to institute that hate. You understand? Is by identifying that you are an enemy of the Lord.
Right.
All right, so give me back to Ecclesiastes 3 and 8.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
A time to love and a time to hate. Good.
A time of war
Mm-hmm.
and a time of peace.
A time of war and a time of peace. There's a time where you should absolutely go to war, right? In both senses, meaning you must deathly fight against something. And then there's also a time where you should literally pick up arms, right? And then there's a time of peace. There's a time where you should be peaceable. What's a time of war? Somebody give me a example of a time you should go to war.
Would it be when you literally have to physically defend yourself against an attack from someone?
That's one example of a time for you to go to war, is physically defending yourself.
Especially if it's
If somebody attacks you, should you turn the other cheek?
depends on who it is. If it's not an Israelite, if it's your enemy.
La'a. Salakia. La'a. If somebody puts their hands on you, you should defend yourself
No.
at all times. That's what I mean by attack you. If somebody puts their hands on you,
No, you have to.
you should absolutely defend yourself. You understand? Absolutely. Good.
It's like, sir, a time of war would be fighting your addiction of marijuana.
That's a time for you to go to war.
Spiritual.
You understand? And not peace. What would be peace? How is marijuana a time of peace for some people?
Because that's like they say that's like their relaxation. They
Stress.
stress.
I'm stressed. I need to get high. You understand? I have to get high and pretend like I don't have problems because I'm stressed to death. You understand? I'm stressed to death, so I'm going to light this marijuana. I'm going to do drugs, right? And that's going to be my time of peace. Fentanyl, heroin, crack, right? All of these things. The party drug, cocaine, right? Coke and Molly and ecstasy are seen as like party drugs. You understand? This is party time. I'm at peace. I'm trying to unwind. It's Friday night. I've been in the office all week. I drove the bus all week. I was on the back of the garbage truck all week. It's time for me to unwind in this club. You understand? I need peace. I don't need to think about the fact that when I walk in the house, my wife is going to go off, right? For anything, for whatever the hell she want to go off about, I'm going to do this Molly in the club. And I'm going to act like nothing exists for 2-3 hours. You understand? And for some people, they think that's their time of peace, right? But those addictions, like Goyala said, is the time for you to go to war. You understand? A time for you to go to war is when you have an addiction. A time for you to go to war, let me tell you something. There's a feeling inside of you when you know You are avoiding going to war. And as a man, it will make you a coward. Do you understand?
Right.
It will make you a coward because you know this is the time for me to fight. See, this scripture is not strictly about pick your sword up, pick your gun up, and shoot it or swing it. This is metaphorically also talking about swinging your sword, slaying your demons. You understand? There's a time for war. There's all this, of course, this is physically talking as well. It's literal. There's a time for you to literally go to war against another nation. And there's a time where you can have peace with another nation. What time is it right now for blacks and Hispanics? This is a time of war. You do not have a culture. You don't have a God unless you come back to the Bible. So you have no culture, no God. It is a time for war. You understand? You were told you are a Mexican. You can trace that back but so long. You was told you are a Jamaican. That goes back but so long. You were told you are a Haitian, you're from Nicaragua, you are a Black American. How far back do those things go? You understand? Brother, you must go to war because somebody is lying to you. You understand? And brother, when you realize that, you'll realize that there's also a time for peace, right? Black people are so forgiving, not to each other, but towards the oppressors. We are so forgiving. We understand so deeply why the white man had to enslave us. It just had to happen, and we must forgive him. Because surely in 2026, he doesn't mean harm like he did in 1776. We just came from America celebrating July 4th for the 250th anniversary. You understand? When that was established, you were picking cotton. You understand? You were picking cotton when July 4th first was celebrated. When it first became a thing, you picked cotton. They all put their John Hancock on this damn signature. The term John Hancock comes from John Hancock, who signed his signature so large on that bill, they called it, oh, he signed his John Hancock. So when you sign your signature, you're signing your John Hancock because a white man put his name on that bill on July 4th so large, and his name was John Hancock. You are signing that bill, you are putting your John Hancock down, excuse me, for the redemption of white people, but you were a slave when July 4th came around. Do you understand? This is a time for war for you. It's time for you to reclaim who you were. You weren't a Mandingo warrior. Roots is not accurate. Do you understand? Roots ain't accurate. You were not a Mandingo warrior. What's the other term? That's the only term I remember from Roots. Toby's, I think it's Toby's father, or was it Toby himself, used to say, me Mandingo, me Toby. I mean, you're not a Mandingo warrior. You understand? That's not you. You're not African. You were taken from those coasts, but that's not you. You're not a Spaniard, right? Some of our good, strong Mexican brothers trace their lineage back to the Aztecs. And some of our other Hispanic tribes go back to the natives, and natives themselves are native. That's a beautiful thing, and it's good. That's how we identify you're an Israelite. But that's the key. That's how we identify that you are Israel. You understand? Going back to you being an Aztec warrior is not enough. You understand? It's not enough for you to be an Aztec warrior. It's not enough for you to be a Chickasaw Indian, a Redfoot, a Blackfoot, a chief this such a. That's not. My grandfather was chief such and such. That is not enough. You understand? That is not who you were. Because before you came here and were able to call yourself a native, what were you before that? Who are you if the Lord calls upon you? You understand? A Russian white man might think he's different from an American white man, but if the Lord calls white people, he's looking at the American white man, the Russian white man, the Australian white man, the Canadian white man, the white man living in China who calls himself Chinese, but he's white, the white man living in South Africa who calls himself South African, but he's white. When the Lord calls white people, when the Lord says, smite white people, They're all white to him. You understand? So you're not an Aztec warrior. You're not Chief Rat, huh? You're not a Mayan. You're not Chief Blackfoot. Black man, you are not, your strength doesn't come from coming over here on a boat and not being eradicated. We think our strength comes from we came here on a boat and they couldn't stomp us out. Hoorah. That is not your strength. Your strength comes from they knew they had to grab you because of who you were. You understand? They knew they had to go get you because you were the only person that could make America America. It was you. The white man couldn't do it on his own. America would not have become, Rome wouldn't be Rome. Babylon wouldn't have been Babylon. Please understand this. Without black people in it, or the forefathers and ancestors of the Israelites being in it. You understand? So, brother, there's a time for war, and a time for war today. It's today. Go get your culture. Go fight to grab your culture back. Our culture. Go to war. Go to war. I see so many viral videos about what's this cat's name? The new Black Panther Party. The new Black Panther Party in Philly. They out there teaching these brothers. I can't make this story up. Oh, please don't make me find it. They're teaching these brothers walk around with the rifle out. Put your rifle from your walk around with your rifle out because they can't do nothing about it. And you thinking, yeah, stick it to the man. Brother, some half a dimwit went out there in Philadelphia, rifle out. And them young brothers out there gangbanging on them corners robbed him for that damn rifle. You understand? First of all, he got arrested. Got arrested for the rifle because the police don't care. Let me tell you something. Philadelphia has an open carry law, and the police don't care that they have an open carry law. Do you understand that? They see your black behind carrying like that, and you are not with the Lord, you are liable to go to jail. You understand? And you'll fight for your freedom. Do you understand? They don't care. And you're doing it because you think, if I show this weapon, let me tell you something, brother. The Black Panthers they hinge on, how can I say this? They hinge on weaponry so much because they have nothing to teach you to change you. They have nothing to teach the hood to change the hood. I say this all the time. Like, giving a turkey out, giving some fruit out, giving some bread out, that's nice. That's so nice. It's so beautiful. Everybody needs food out. The Lord said, a man shall not live by bread alone. You understand? So if you're giving out food in the ghetto, you're not doing the work of the Lord. You're giving food to the ghetto. That's good. That's good. You're not with the Lord. You understand? It's not true. Then they put the guns on. Why? Because when it comes to the guns, now you can protect yourself. When really you have a bunch of scared brothers and sisters running to the new Black Panther Party, thinking they're going to protect me. The things they're teaching me is going to stop me from being a victim of police brutality, but it will not. Because that is not the time for your war. You understand? Have your firearms, have your rifles, have your shotguns, have as many as you want. They let you have a 30 stick, you have a 30 stick. What the hell do I care? If there's any state in the United States of America that lets you have a switch on the back of your damn Glock, put a switch on it. What the hell do I care? You understand? A time for war is for you to find out who you are first. You have to go to war and figure out, what God do you have? What is the laws that's going to get you out of your situation? You understand? It's not good enough for you to own rifles. It's not good enough for you to give bread out and have apples to give people and yams. You understand? It's not good enough for you to be talking about we got to be a vegan. That's the problem. The meat is poisoning. You're so angry because the meat is poisoning you. You eating red meat, brother. That's why you're so angry. You're so angry because you're eating them burgers out. That red meat throwing your hormones off. You eating, yeah, brother. You need to go to war by figuring out who your God is and what your laws are that will actually stop the ghetto from being destroyed. You understand? It will actually stop the ghetto. Is such a beautiful place, huh? It's such a beautiful place where mothers care so deeply about their children, fathers care so deeply about their children. You understand? Before the influx of white teachers, the black teachers care so much about their children. Huh? You understand? I say this all the time. I did a few dumb things. I ain't get to do as much dumb things as the average brother in the school because I came into school at 17. Brother, I can't say my teachers told me you would be nothing. I'd be lying. I got straight A's and they told me I could be a Fortune 500 student. If I'm lying, I'm flying. They said you should have a Fortune 500 company. You should be the CEO. The one I can remember vividly is my fifth grade teacher telling me, you should be the next CEO of Ford. You understand? I didn't get told that I would be nothing my whole life. I can't even lie. I wasn't told that. You understand? I had black teachers that told me, you so smart. What's going on at home? What's the matter? You understand?
Right.
Because they didn't hate us. You understand? My black teachers, I understand that sometimes we're so destroyed that we'll push those traumas onto the children, onto the students, right? But if you just let black people educate black people, the ISUPK will take care of the rest.
Right.
You understand? We got it from there. We'll go to war with the educations. We'll go to war with your trauma. We'll go to war with why you're getting straight A's, but you're still getting suspended. Straight A's, no B's, but you're on the borderline of getting expelled. You got to go to what's it called to go alternative school. You got to go to alternative school for a week to try to scare you out of your behavior. You understand? You're skipping school and the truancy officer's at your damn house. The cops, let me tell you something. The cops knew I was so goddamn smart. I forget what I did. I remember. I did something. I'm in the back of the police car handcuffed. They took me to my house and they thought that, let me tell you something. They didn't see me like a threat because I was a straight A student. They did not take me to wherever they were supposed to take me. They didn't take me where they were supposed to take me out. You understand? They said, man, this kid is so smart. And I remember this like yesterday. He said, yeah, we got him. We got him. We'll handle it. And as we driving, the officer's looking back at me like, and we keep going. Knew I lived. So we keep going towards my house. I lived out of the school district. So this happened in the East. I went to East Orange schools. I lived in Orange. You understand? This is happening out in, he's looking at me. It was a he or a she. It was a shh. I can't remember. The officer's looking back at me doing this. Driving. Brother, he took me to my house. Now, he intended to have a conversation with my parents. Me being scared for my life, thinking I'm going to be on punishment, I jumped out the back seat and ran off. He opened the door because, like I said, I wasn't a threat. I'm a straight A student. Why is this straight A student acting like this, doing something to where the school is calling the cops on him and he has to go to a holding cell? No, I know his mother. I'm going to talk to his mother. Well, I ran off. He opened that damn door and went looking and said, now, which one is your apartment? And I dipped the hell off to the left. You understand? I ran. Of course, I had handcuffs on, so it didn't end well for me. You understand? Slacking. So, long story short, my teachers told me I could be something. You understand? And they was asking me questions. What's wrong? What's the matter? My male and my female teachers. So this wasn't just, oh, soft baby, what's the matter? I had a detective pull up to the damn school, sit me down and said, brother, you too damn smart for this. Took a dollar out, slapped it on the table. He said, take that. He said, matter of fact, a man should always have a dollar in his pocket. Talked to me a little bit. That's the part I remember. He talked to me a little bit, blah, 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 left. They sent me back to school. They said there's multiple times I should have went to jail, but I didn't go to jail. I have no record on him. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. He said a man should always have a dollar in his pocket. Give me a dollar, left. They sent me back to class. Brother, because of these things, I want y'all to notice, That's why I never was able to do a lot of dumb things in the streets. It always nagged at me that people cared for me. You understand? It nagged at me that detectives gave me money. You understand? I just kept thinking about it. Damn, they saying I could do this, and they keep saying I kept. I would get suspended. I wouldn't ever go to jail, but I would get suspended a week at a time, 3 days at a time. I would get suspended a lot. And they saying if I keep getting suspended, that record's going to follow me eventually, and I'm not going to be. It's going to matter. They wanted me to go to Remember back when Don Bosco was still up? They wanted me to go to Don Bosco for football. It was like, but you can't go there if you get all these suspensions on you. Like if you go there up until 8th grade, I think only the high school is going to look at those suspensions. But if you go into high school and you're getting suspended, the college is going to see that you're getting suspended in high school. And brother, I'm sitting there like, damn, damn. And I remember this 7th grade, I started cleaning up my act. I said, I can't do this, man. I can't keep doing this with people. Now I would do dumb things here and there because no daddy and you're not in the truth and da da da. So I would do dumb things here and there. But ultimately, what allowed me to find command and journey of honor outside of the grace and mercy of the Lord is the fact that my community told me you are not what the TV tells you you are. You understand? You can be something greater than what is being told to you. They went to war for me. You understand? My community went to war for me and told me you could be a CEO of Ford, of this company, of that company. You're getting straight A's. Let's get to the root problem of why you feel like you got to misbehave. You understand? Of course, there's garbage teachers, but I remember my excellent teachers. You understand? I went back to visit one of them in like 2020, 2021. You understand? And brother, that allowed me to come into the school. You know why? Because when it was time for me to come into the school, I wasn't in jail, right? I can have a gun and be a precinct officer in the school because I don't have a record. You understand? They saved me from so much garbage. You understand? Now I can be in a class with a firearm on my waist to protect the people that matter to the Lord because my teachers told me, you ain't got to do all that garbage, man. And they kept me out of just enough garbage that I don't have no felonies. You understand? Never been booked. Brother, only a black teacher can do that for a black student. You understand? Only black and Hispanic parents and teachers and adults can do that for black and Hispanic kids. Brother, you got to go to war. Get the foreigners out the ghetto. We was driving here today. We trying to make a left on the damn street. The guy is mouthing off because he felt like we got too close to him on a crosswalk. And I'm looking at him like, you're a white man in the middle of the ghetto. You shouldn't be here. You understand? You shouldn't even be here. Why are you here? Go to war against getting the foreigners out the ghetto. Get the white teachers out of the school. You understand? But you want to go to war against your brother? You want to go to war? I don't know what the hell they beef about in Jersey City as far as which sides. This project want to beef against this project? These blocks, this area against this area? That's ridiculous. You have a real war on your hands. And drug dealers and gangbangers, I got you, love to pretend like they care about the hood. Like, yeah, I'm messed up, but my son ain't gonna have to go through that. I ain't gonna let my son. Big homies tell little homies, don't get in this. You don't want to do this. Go to school. Put your pants up. Here, take this 10. Take this 20. If you really care, how about you start by being a positive influence? Because if not, they're going to look at white people like white people are the influence. You understand? That turkey you giving out in November, those gifts and that fruitcake you giving out in December does not make up for the crack you sell. You understand? The time to go to war is when they said, I'm not going to give you a job, take this crack. Brother, it already destroyed your father. Got to destroy you too? They told your father that, and your father died. Or your father went to jail, and you'll never see him again unless you visit him through a glass. You understand? Brother, how about you go to war against the feeling of, I'm not a man unless I have thousands of dollars in my pocket? How about you go to war against that? You got to put a rifle on your shoulder in the middle of Philly and give an apple to somebody. No, brother, how about you go against the feeling of, I'm not a man unless I got thousands of dollars. I'm not a man unless I mean mug everybody I come in contact with. How about you fight that? You understand? Fight that. Fight that and go to war. That's a time for war. A time for war is you thinking that that's the way you have to be, when in reality, that doesn't help black people. You understand? It doesn't help black people. Go out.
Common sir. Yeah, like another thing, like a time for war is um like getting all these different heathens out of communities, like their restaurants and everything. I think it was a study. I think the Asians had like 45,000 Chinese restaurants in America.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of them was in the black and Hispanic neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's a war we could be fighting instead of like, nah, man, this hood versus that hood. We could be, nah, man, trying to come together.
Brother, soon as Mr. Chow unalive Cyrus Belton, brother, we should have had the economic unity to put Chinese stores out of business. The audacity that the Asian community had to make the videos they made on the internet saying that, how you gonna boycott us? We make your sneakers. You love our food. You don't start your own businesses. You don't make your own stuff. The audacity they had to do that should have been met with the veracity, the ferociousness of, you'll never get $1 from the black community again. Instead, I had to see a picture today of a Chinese man holding a black baby smiling inside of his beauty supply store, while some sister is so happy that the next Mr. Chow is holding her daughter because your daughter was running around being a child and he didn't shoot. Oh, we got to give him a round of applause. Huh? He didn't kill him. Oh, brother, we got to go get chicken fried rice now. You understand? We got to go get it now, because he didn't kill her. He didn't unalive a black child. Brother, we can't meet their aggression with our own equal, correct aggression. You take our brother's life, we shut all your businesses down. You understand? All those brothers I said that I was just talking about that's on the corner, they eat Chinese food out. It's chicken and broccoli. You understand? It is beef and broccoli, chicken and broccoli, shrimp. I'm not advocating for shrimp. I'm just telling you what they eat when they stand in front of that store. Shrimp fried rice. Do you understand? My thing was lo mein. You understand? And brother, it's disgusting. It's disgusting because we should have been able to topple the Asian community. Instead, they knew we wouldn't stand together. And they said, man, y'all ain't going to do nothing. We make your shoes, man.
Right.
We make your shoes. You ain't going to do nothing. Brother, we should have went to war.
Right.
We did not. You understand? We did not go to war because we thought this was a game. But the Asians know it's real. That's why there's a Chinese store in every hood. They know the game is real. And they're going to get that money out your damn pocket because they know it's real. Yeah.
And a lot of people, if it's a younger generation, they're not even going to be familiar with this too much, but older might. The whole reason the riots happened in LA in '92 was because of a Korean girl, a lady shooting a young girl.
Latasha Harlins.
Right.
Yep.
It wasn't so much about the acquittal of the cops who beat Rodney King. That was like the catalyst, like the spark. But the real tension was all these Korean businesses, the way they were treating the black customers.
Mm-hmm.
Then when she was killed, it was like
the beating.
The
they had it backwards though. The beating. She ignited the beating for Rodney King was the tipping point. She was before Rodney King.
Yes, that's what I mean.
So Rodney King was the tipping point. But like you said, Asians was treating us so terribly. Latasha Harlins was the spark on the front. That was that fan. It started the flame. Rodney King fanned the flame to be a forest fire. You understand? And then now all of a sudden, black people out of control. Oh, look at them chimping out. Oh, we got to do something about this. That's why we had him as slaves. When you shot a girl in her back, you beat a man. Did he, Rodney King died? No, he lived. You beat him. You beat him 92% to death. You shot, brother. The Latasha Harlins thing. I was supposed to teach it one class. That's why I know her name, because a couple of weeks ago I was supposed to teach a class on it, but there was so many questions that class I couldn't get to it. Brother, she had the money in her hand to pay. She had the money in her damn hand, and the lady was already aggressively telling them to leave. Leave, leave. We don't want you. I got it right here. I don't even have to pull it from the. Let me get real quick. I ain't gonna get right off of this. Well, Tasha Harlins was shot until deceased by Korean convenience store owner Soon Ja-do on Saturday, March 16th, 1991, over $2 of orange juice. It's lucky. $2 orange juice. That's what your life is worth. $2. Two eyewitnesses say Latasha intended on paying and had her money in her hand. The security footage corroborated their story, meaning the two witnesses said, no, she had her money in her hand. She was never going to steal. She was never trying to leave with it and then got caught and then said, I'm going to pay. No, she was always going to pay. And of course, because we're black, we just must be liars because we're black. Brother, they ran the footage back, and the footage told the same story. Money in hand, never tried to leave, was trying to pay for her orange juice. And it showed Soon Ja-do assassinating Latasha from behind the store counter, meaning she was behind the counter. What happened was there was a back and forth tussle. Yes, there was a back and forth tussle, and Latasha pushed her down, pushed Soon Ja-do. Soon Ja-do gets up. Soon Ja-do gets her gun. Soon Ja-do pulls her gun. Soon Ja-do doesn't shoot immediately. She waits until Latasha turns her back to leave, meaning, you know what? This has gone too far. I don't need this orange juice that bad. You think I'm stealing it. I'm mad because you think I'm a thief. I'm going to put your orange juice back. Keep it. I'm going to turn this way and walk off. The hatred in her heart wouldn't let her do that. She said, no, you have to die today. You understand? How dare you think you're going to come in my store and take my $2 orange juice? You have to die today, brother. And she shot her in the back. Back of the head. Back of the head. Shot her. Back turned. You understand? Brother, one, she's a coward. Right. You understand? She's a coward, number one. Number two, that shows she made up her mind. She was tired of niggas coming in her store, laughing, joking, doing black stuff. Oh, she was sick of it, despite the fact she opened up in a black neighborhood. Right. Right. She was sick of black people. So if you're so sick of black people, but you opened up in a black neighborhood, it seems like this is to all the Asian people who made these videos after Mr. Chow shot Cyrus Belton. It seems like you need us. You don't like us, but you know you have to sell in the hood because you know that's $10,000 a week that you're giving up if you don't. Yeah. The audacity they had to make those videos out should have been met with no black person ever. This what's that Black Dragon? What is it in Philly? What's the spot in Philly? Black Dragon. Black owned. The black owned, the brother who owns a restaurant that makes Chinese food. Right. You understand? Brother, you want the flavor of General Soul so bad, go to the Black Dragon in Philly. Oh, you live in Connecticut? Well, either make it at home, make the drive, or eat something else. I don't know what to tell you. You understand? You open up your Black Dragon in Hartford, in Newark, in Jersey City, in Newark, Delaware. You understand? In Cleveland, Ohio. You open up your black spot making that. They got Korean fried chicken. You understand? Fried chicken is your thing. That's our thing. They got Korean fried chicken. Go open up Mr. Chow. Not Mr. Chow's. Go open up Mr. Washington's. You understand? Mr. Washington's Chinese food. And when they walk in, it's a brother with a long beard. You understand?
Right.
And you go get your General Soul's from him if you need it that damn bad. But we don't have the unity to even do that. Yeah, I never got to report on that story. I never got to do that. I had something for Latasha Harlins, Trayvon Martin, and Cyrus Belton when it happened.
God. And just to add a little bit to what you said, sir, and this is why Hollywood is so terrible, because one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite gangster movies or hood movies is Menace to Society.
Yep.
And that in the beginning, you know,
They made it seem like he was unreasonable.
it made it seem like
Brother, Old Dog was unreasonable. Old Dog was unreasonable. Sorry for your mother.
Yeah.
What? Something snapped in that, brother, when you said that. My mother. Don't talk about a black man, mother. Don't do that.
And that's crazy. They know, like, black men don't like to, for you to talk about their mother.
That's all I got.
So, exactly. So they made it seem like, yeah, black man kill you for that. And killed the Asian lady or whatever, killed the husband, took the tapes and everything. But in reality, his brothers, they doing the exact opposite.
It's them in reality. You understand? It's them. And then let me tell you something. If y'all really want this resolved, because then you'll have the Asians that come and say what? They'll have their stories about what happened to them. Well, this black person robbed me of a bag of chips. I confronted this person about robbing, and they knocked the whole counter down. They knocked the whole aisle down and said, clean it up, spit on the floor and walked out. You want to stop this? No sweat. Leave the ghetto. Leave. I'll open up the corner store and I'll deal with it. I'll deal with the brother who comes in there having a bad day because I know how to talk to him. You obviously don't know how to talk to him. That's why that sister took that picture with that Asian man and let him hold her daughter in South Carolina, because and that's where Cyrus Belton was unallowed. That it's just disgusting. And he she let him hold her because she like, wow, Asian man. See, it's not true for all of them. She had to make a point like a good Christian.
That's a fact.
No, damn that up.
Right.
Damn that. Leave the ghetto. I'll do it. I'll open the beauty supply store. I'll do all that. I know how to go to DH Gate and Alibaba and get some picks and some grease. You understand? I'll open up a stand downtown Norton. Boom. Boom. Come on.
Eyebrows.
Buy them in bulk up. I'll buy them in bulk and you'll be right. You'll be right as day. You understand? You'll be right as day. Do you understand? Sisters do nail in the hood all the time, huh?
Right.
All the time. Go ahead.
Where I live downtown in Port Mall, the last few years, I've noticed wherever our people are working behind the counters, food court, those are the ones that go out of business quicker, and then they're replaced with either the Asian style food, Indian food, or just some kind of foreign food.
You know what? We don't support our own, but it doesn't stop there. It's very easy for you to say, so like, I'll give you a perfect example. There was a Jamaican, I love Jamaican food. My mother and that whole side of my family is Benjamite, right? I'm a Judite because of my father, but she's a Benjamite, and that whole side of my family is Benjamites. Brother, there was a store called One Island Stop. I still remember the name. It was One Island Stop on Grove and William. On Grove and William before the liquor store. And brother, I'm walking. I got some liquor out the store. I said, oh, it's right there. So I was like, oh. I walked in. I was like, I just open. She's like, yeah. Ooh. And I was like, yo, man, make sure y'all promo and stuff like that. I'm gonna definitely support. And I told her, I think that day I was like, I'm not even really hungry, but I want to support because so many of our stores open up and then they shut down almost immediately. And she was like, yeah, we was just on Main Street and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, we got to learn to support each other. But it's not just about Black people supporting each other. It's not just about Blacks and Hispanics supporting each other. What's it really about? When you condition a people to look at themselves a certain way, they don't feel the need. Like, I don't care how much you love Chinese food. Why you can't stop eating Chinese food because they killed your brother? Do you understand that? Like, if a Black person gives you any pushback on you saying, Yeah, I ain't ate Chinese food since I was Belton. Man, you doing too much. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. You telling me you can't fry rice in your damn house? Are you serious? Brother, it's nasty like that.
Kind of, sir. And it's because our people are selfish, sir. They don't care until it's their son. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it's their son getting shot by Asian, now it's okay. I won't eat it no more. I ain't never supporting him. But since you don't look at me as your brother, you know what I mean? So I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, man,
It's no nation pride.
exactly.
It's no pride. Brother, um you can't like do something to the Irish, do something to the Italians, do something to the Chinese, and they not retaliate. Do something to the Vietnamese and they not retaliate or show you that they don't mess with you. You understand? Like we look at these foreigners, these are all foreigners according to America. The only Americans that are true-blooded Americans are the Europeans that came over here and became the first Americans. To them and their offspring, and if you submit to the redneck culture, you are a true-blooded American. All other white people, they're white, but they're foreigners to America. You understand? And brother, when those foreigners came over here, they committed crime. We love the Sopranos. I love the Sopranos. I still never finished it all the way to the end to this day, but I love the Sopranos. You understand? That's my type of thing. I like it. That's crime. That's Italian crime. It's Italian mob crime in New Jersey.
Right.
It's Italian mob crime. Do you understand? It's a show y'all should watch on. It aired on CNBC back in the day. It's only one season called Black Donnellys.
What was it?
Black Donnellys.
Oh, okay.
My rib, she got me. She never seen it, so she got me rewatching it with her. Fire. One of my favorite shows all the time, as far as one season is go.
Right.
It's about the black Irish, not black like me and you, just black haired Irish. They called them black Irish. It's about Irish people committing crimes in New York City. The Chinese was known for what? Opioids, opium, heroin. Do you understand? And then what did they do? Rednecks are known for what? Meth. Do you understand? What did they do to stop that? I'm going to give you dry cleaners. You understand? I'm going to give you laundromats, dry cleaners, telephone business, 7-Elevens, Dunkin' Donuts. I'm going to give you money when you come into my country so that you don't commit crimes here. You know why? Because when you were poor, it's not a black thing. When you were poor, you do what you need to survive. You understand? Now let's amplify that. Let's take that same scenario, but the people who need to survive just came from 400 years of slavery. They didn't come from their own country, but it was free and came here by choice. First generation Italian Americans, Irish Americans, they're forced indentured slavery. What do you think we're going to do? We still looked for jobs. We still supported one another. Then you took it and gave us crack. Go watch Freeway Rick Ross story when he first came home, when he sat down with Vlad. It might not have been Vlad. He sat down with a couple people, but I know he sat down with Vlad. And he told, of course, everybody knows now, the CIA brought crack in. But go watch him tell it. Go watch him tell you. There was nothing in the hood. They started depriving us of jobs. And then out of nowhere, a man in a suit gives me crack. The hell you think I'm going to do? So you're telling me my baby in the house starving, I sell this to somebody who's already a junkie or who's on the verge of being a junkie, who's suffering, so my family could, brother, it starts to become self-preservation. Do you understand? And they frame it like we are just the worst of the worst. Oh my God, Black Americans. When in reality, the Italians came over here and did that. They were organized crime. We're sloppy with crime. We are sloppy. We commit murders and leave all types of evidence out. Just all types of evidence that we did everything that we saying we ain't do. We rap about it. We get on the track and say, brother, I was watching the video of the Lil Durk's Aha earlier. Lil Durk, Aha. He said, he said, the last two lines says, Dirk, he's a singer. He won't smoke S. You could believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit. Aha.
Damn.
Yeah, Your Honor, I did it. Your Honor, yeah, his friend that died, I got his folks hit. Did you hear me say that in the song? I got his folks hit. Brother, we're terrible at crime. We are terrible. The Italians came over here and had organized crime. The Chinese had organized crime. The Irish had organized crime. They said, oh my God, this is so damn organized. There were senators that were in the Italian mob. Do you understand this? Gambling was a thing because the Italian mafia, the Italian mob made it a thing. Do you understand? They made it a thing. They refused to abide by America's word and saying, you can't do that. I said, bull crap. They said, you can't get that liquor. Bull crap. You can't buy that. Cuban cigars can't be over here. Bull crap. You understand? We're gonna do what we want to do. They said, damn, how we going? Damn. Give them laundry mats and give them pizzerias and give them Dunkin' Donuts and oh my God, because they're criminals. They when it come to you, is look at them. Look at them. We deprived them of everything, put them in shackles for 400 years, raped their women, indoctrinated their babies, fed them to alligators, gave them no money, gave them crack. They formed gangs. We infiltrated the gangs. They formed the Black Panther Party. We infiltrated the Black Panther Party. That's what we do. And look at what they've become because of it. Brother, your oppressor is a beast.
Right.
He is a beast in the field who must be slain. That's the time for war. You understand? You want to go to war? You go grab your culture back and your identity back and your sense of self. You don't want to shop at a black store because you're conditioned to think the white store is better. The black store is rowdy. That shop right over there on Springfield Ave, that store is rowdy because we don't know who the hell we are. What have I been saying for the past couple of weeks? Oh, brother, only if the black people inside of that shop right knew they was royalty. You understand? Right. Every cart that got bumped. New York is a hell of a place. I remember my first time being in New York. I mean, I got to end this because I don't want to miss the council. My first time being in New York, I can go in there for class and walking through, like walking down the blocks on, like I would get off on the subway early so I could see these places. This is because I never walked these blocks in New York. So like I've been to New York, I have family there, but I would go to their house, the immediate area, and then go back to Jersey. So like I'm going to classes in New York, I get off the train and I walk down the block. So like I'll go from 125th and I'll get off on like 56th or something like that, and then I walk to 42nd or to 34th. I used to go on the PATH train on 32nd and 6th, right? So I'll walk and I'll just be seeing things and observing, and people would keep bumping me. And I'm like, yo, do they not know that I still? This is what I'm thinking in my head. Like, do you not know I hurt? And I'm like, there's white people too, so don't listen. But I'm gonna focus on us. And I would see us do it to each other. And I'm like, we could do better. You understand? The culture in New York of I'm going to shoulder bump you, that's a nasty culture. Like when you walk my street, you're going to catch this shoulder. And I'm not going to say sorry. And when you bump the next person, you're not going to say sorry. You're not going to say, oh, excuse me, my fault, bro. You good? Because this all we do over here is shoulder bump each other. Brother, that's a nasty, disgusting culture. You understand? Because now you have 1 million people in New York. New York has I forget how many millions of people. You have millions, close to a dozen million people in New York City walking around offended. Do you understand that? Walking around offended because they getting bumped all damn day. They go home, they red, they hot tempered. They go into the slave, they hot tempered. Why? I've been getting bumped on a block all day. You understand? I don't know why that's ringing at 8:55. Get 1 second. We're gonna wrap this up. This is more important than this class. So with that being said, I didn't get in my topic, but we'll get that next time. With that being said, we're gonna wrap this up. Prison Officer 5000 Kawaga Bar of the ISUPK and Commander Journey Hana. With that being said, Yahweh Shem Shabbat Thumb, Yahweh Shem Allah Thumb Bashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom. Time crept up on me. I didn't even get to my